Hello and welcome to Patrick's Model and Transport. So here we are. We're going to have a look at begin servicing the motor chassis of the BB SNCF BB6700 locomotive, which is a very straightforward Lima diesel or electric chassis. In fact, I'm just going to show you the very similar chassis of the E424. This is one of my favorite electric or non-steam locomotives, the E464, and together with the E656. And you can see that we have the same layout. Here we've got this is the motor bogie, which has got the usual bogie under frame screwed on with the two screws, and at the back we have instead the dummy bogie, the pickup bogie over here, which is held in position by one screw and one screw, which is then sprung, and this lifts up and we gain access to the axles. No, so it's really just the same. From a technical point of view, the mechanism is absolutely identical. The E464 is an older design. It has the screw going through the roof like the diesel hydraulic, and the Zamac weight with the screw going straight through the Zamac weight into the bottom. This locomotive's Zamac weight is in good condition. So now we can put this out the road. We'll just park it on the layout. I'll give it a wee drive tomorrow because I really like this locomotive. In fact, I'm just putting it on the rails. Okay. Wonderful. Right. So now let's get this diesel. Well, from the point of view of the mechanism, this is very simple. It's nothing special. It's just a Lima diesel, so we're not really nothing complicated. Not very simple, very easy thing to work on. So let's begin having a look at we're going to have a look. First things first. Before we open any bogies, we will simply disconnect the motor. So what you need to do is to just pull this out. This is the negative lead, okay, and we can take the bogie out. So that's what I like of Limas. Very simple, very easy, no stress, very simple design. So here, what's very important when you dismantle the dummy bogie, let's say, it's very important to take note of where the insulated wheels are, because this is picking up a polarity from the wheels, and the pickups are on the axles under this plate. If I accidentally put the wheels in the wrong way around, there will be a short circuit and the locomotive won't work. Okay, so let's see how dirty these axles are. We're just going to lean this on here. I should have put a thicker bit here because these screws are thicker. My multi-headed screwdriver. Okay, there's a screw. Very simple, the usual thing. Pop the screw in here out the road. Let's take the plate out. There's a plate. The base plate, nice. These are nice and sprung, pushed up, so they're pushing the axles up in position. like that. So let's see which side of the bogie. Here we have the wheels. So here we've got the insulated wheel, and here we have the wheel which is not insulated. This is in contact with the axle. So this bogie over here, the non-insulated wheel has to go at this side. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to simply mark it to make sure that I don't forget when it's time to reassemble. And the quickest thing to do is to just use a white marker pen. So this is also pretty clean. It doesn't need to be degreased. It's not a real problem to get this. There's not really very much work to do here. It's pretty straightforward. So we're simply going to make a mark in a non-conspicuous point. So let's say, let's say that we do it right here. So this side here, white dot, that is my conventional point of reference saying non-insulated wheels on this side of the bogie. So I know that my non-insulated wheels are there. The non-insulated ones, so the live wheels are there. So here's my nice piece of, we'll give this a clean, of course. It's a bit oxidized. We'll polish it up. We'll probably polish it up with just some lighter fluid, and I might even use the fiberglass pencil here if I'm really wanting to have fun with the strands of fiberglass all over the place. So this goes here. We can just pop that. We'll have to clean these. It's seen some action. It's a bit dirty there. That needs cleaning. When we clean that, we'll also definitely use the fiberglass pencil on this one here. Okay, so that's that. So let's take the wheels out and see what state the wheels are in. Just a bit dirty, not bad at all, not bad at all, not bad at all. Yes, they're needing, look, a bit oxidized there, these need cleaned. Lighter fluid fiberglass pencil, and then we're okay. And we might actually use maybe even some contact spray on this, just we'll see what's what. So here's the bogie, which is in perfect condition. It's not even dirty. Excellent. And just leave it over here like that. Right, having done that, we'll just put these bits and pieces over here. Let's remove the motor. Let's remove the motor. And to remove the motor, it's very simple. The Lima, dead simple, dead easy. We'll just pop our contraption over here like that. We have to remove, I mean, this is, I think you've all probably dismantled the Lima, but you never know, sooner or later there might be somebody new in the hobby who has never dismantled anything, and they're beginning from Limas because Limas are cheap, and if you've never really had the curiosity or felt up to taking it to bits. But I learned a lot of things looking at YouTube, and so I'm rendering the favour now, you see. So here I'm just removing the bogie subframe. So we want to make sure that these are a slightly different screw here. So we want to have a separate, I'm going to put these screws. In there. So in the pink container, we're putting the bits and pieces of the motor bogie in here. Okay, I've removed the base plate. Let's take this in. Very good. And here's our G-type pancake motor, which is now simply a matter of taking it out, of lifting it off the top. But of course, what we have to do now, we have to open this piece of insulating tape, which has been very, very good. In fact, it's even in good condition. It's not that bad. And we just lift the motor out. Or we just, wait a minute, I don't remember. I've taken one of these out for some time, hold on. Now if I remember badly, I have to do like this, like that, or like what? Oh, don't tell me, I can't remember how to do it. Okay. How the heck do I take this out? I can't remember. Of course you can take the thing out. Ah, there it is. We just push it out like that. Here at the end, you just do like that, and then out it comes. Of course, now we have to remember another thing before we take it to bits. We have to remember that the brushes are at this side here, because this motor is absolutely mirror image. So we don't want to fit it in the wrong way around. We want to fit it in the way it was assembled in the factory. So what I'm going to do, still using my marker pen, I'm just going to write, the brushes are over here, so we're just going to write a B pointing this way. B for brushes, over there. And we can do the same thing over here. No, that's not legible. I'll just write on insulating tape B and the arrow over there. So we know that our motor brushes have to go this way. You can write anything you want as a reference, but okay, so that's the chassis removed. It's in perfect condition. We'll give it maybe a wee clean, and we'll talk about the chassis when we've finished doing jobs. Alright, so here's our motor. Let's see what the state of some dirt here for some reason. That's what that is. The copper cable between the front pickup, axle pickup, so it picks up through this wheel here onto the axle. The drive axles, of course, are insulated, and the polarity goes from here, the base plate, to the motor, to the brush housing. The other brush is powered by the rear bogie. Okay, let's take the thingy out. Here we have to be very careful not to damage this soldering here, because I don't want to have to resolder this rigid cable. It would be a waste of time. So we're going to open the brush housing and remove the rotor. So Now we're opening and doing a general inspection, and then we will work at cleaning in a second video. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to remove the springs, the brushes. I'm just going to pull this out. Let's see. Or maybe I could. Let's just open this up. Okay, I'm removing the brushes right now. Let's put these brushes into something. Here we go. Right. Brush spring. Okay. Brush spring out. Let's actually take the brushes and just drop them in here. Let's see what state the brushes are in. We're having a look at the brushes. Bit dirty. See? Oh, where did that go? Yes, the brushes need cleaning. I'll steep them in some lighter fluid and give them a good clean. So those are the brushes. Let's see how the commutator plate is, what state that's in. So now we have to remove the brush housing plate from the end motor gently, because I don't want to damage this part here, this piece of rigid cable. These are the screws from the motor. Let's keep them separate. It's coming off. Not coming out. And it's not coming out simply because there's this soldering in the road, so it's not flexible enough for me to take the motor out. So we'll have to stop here. This is not opening up right now. Okay, so next step we'll have to desolder this contact here, and I'll have to make up my mind what I want to desolder. I think I'll just desolder it from here, from the brush housing. So that'll be the simplest thing, and because I also have to redo the soldering here. This is a disaster. This is very symbolic. Okay, so we have to get the soldering iron out and dismantle that and get the housing, the brush housing plate removed and clean. The commutator is pretty dirty, huh? So okay, Right, so that's all for the moment. Can't proceed because I've not got the soldering iron in here, and I'm also very sleepy at this point here. I said I'll come and do this video sort of relax, you know, chill out and have a good sleep afterwards. And I believe me, I'm going to have a very good sleep right now because I'm beginning to feel very sleepy. So tomorrow I'll begin cleaning some of this stuff, and in another video we'll see about removing this, and it's easier to solder this back onto here than to work down here. On another motor I remember that this came off and it was very, very complicated doing things down here. There's the plate down here, the base plate, you're close to plastic. Here it's much easier, so we'll desolder this one here, that way we can take the plate off, the brush housing plate off, and access the rotor, clean it very well, do all the lubrication that's required. In this way I'll show you my various techniques and the different types of lubricant that I use for these motors. Okay, very well. In fact, another trick I have to remind myself how to fit the motor. So here I said brushes, so the brushes are this way. But I also do another very, very simple thing. I just take my marker pen and I draw an arrow. The arrow says forward. So where is this motor bogie in relation to the locomotive direction? This side, this end here drives forward, and so that means that's the direction of travel. Okay, very well. If you enjoyed the video, and give it a like, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and I always like reading your comments, of course, and I'd better go to bed because I'm going to fall asleep right here. Okay, cheerio, and see you next time. Ciao, ciao.